are back. Welcome back to the third portion of tonight's little story with a big heart. We are playing Nerdburger Craig's Good Strong Hands. I think we're doing a pretty decent job of it. We've had tears. We've had rocks tumbling down our cheeks. We've had lots of feels. And good feels. Amazing things. In the second portion of our story, we saw this daft and rather brave group of folk, of kin, battle some skellies in a bog and rescue a pixie who was their first victim. Its wings had been plucked from its back, and Pom Pom, in a selfless act, took the shadow, permanent shadow, necessary to offer a wish to Bumble, the pixie, so that he could have his wings back. In addition, we realize that this gooey black ichor has been following them, feeding information to the void as to where they are and what they are doing. But Hazel Bloom's very smart reaction to yeet this goo deep in the opposite direction. We see Hazel Bloom use his powers to their utmost abilities, stepping through one tree, out another, distancing very quickly this black ichor from the party and throwing it as far as they can. When the party reconvenes, there is a bit of fresh air because they took a long, well, I say short rest, or a little bit of a rest, in flowers provided by Pom Pom underneath a tree. The embrace, as it is called, and you all feel embraced. And Hazel Bloom, after yeeting some sticky ichor, yeeting that sticky icky, had a bit of an epiphany, thanks to a badger. I wouldn't call him nice or charismatic, but he was a badger. And this badger informed him that they had seen the wraith moving up towards the mountain where the leaf is intended to go. And Hazel Bloom's epiphany, you realize it's not about the leaf. It's about the ancient phoenix that lives inside this mountain. And a new path is set. A race begins. You have to beat the wraith there. Or you at least have to beat it to getting the leaf, and assuring that the phoenix stays safe. And we pick up with our party near the base of this mountain where the woods here touch it. Hoofing it, as it was said, begins. And fast movement picks up, as fast as this party can go. Thumper, probably, and Hazel Bloom being slow at first, but they pick up. Does anybody want to do anything special, or is everybody just trying to get there as fast as possible? What is the plan as you hoof it?
I think our plan is to just get there, hoping we can get there first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is kind of what felt like the plan.
If there's any like trees growing out of the side of the ash mountain, I'll definitely see. Could I? Because it doesn't say it specifically. Could I grab everybody and like teleport with them? And step through a tree and out onto one that might be growing on the side of a mountain or something like that.
Yes. Okay, yes. Here's what we'll do. You can spin the spirit to just usually send yourself, but to get your friends with you, I'm going to make you roll. I'm going to make you roll a heart.
Oh, no.
All right?
And Pom Pom knows you can do it. We've already seen you cut through a bunch of other trees and you yeeted that oozling super duper far away. You are strong and you are fast, Hazel Bloom. And she gives you boundless heart.
Boundless heart.
Again.
It adds.
Thank you, Pom Pom.
It adds a die to your pool, moving your heart from 2 to 3.
Yes.
2 to 3. Now, this is going to be an incredible task. A level up for every member you attempt to carry with you. Let's be real. You and Thumper.
Yeah.
Thumper is not a small boy.
Yeah.
He is
That's
what some
fair.
would call a big boy.
A big boy. So
Okay.
it's going to be a lot.
Hey, you
Everyone
know
in
what,
chat,
Hazel
wish me
Bloom?
luck.
One more. I had one more left. Take my last inspiration.
The final advantage given
The final
from
advantage.
from all of you incredible registered voters out there to Hazel
you.
Bloom, making your
Thank
dice
you.
pool now 4. 4.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
4 die, we get a 6, 4, 3, and a 5. You only needed the one success of a 6. Congratulations, you did it. Hazel Bloom, the inspiration, this feeling of needing to be there. A creature in such danger, and it doesn't even know it. This cycle, the idea of a cycle being broken, could destroy this place known as Reverie. And it pushes you to your limits. Your arms extend to hug a very thick boy. You tuck
3
Pom-
C's. Just want
Three,
to point
yeah,
out. 3
yeah,
C's
3
for sure.
C's for sure. You hug Thumper. Thimbleberry riding Thumper's shoulder, again in that nice little side saddle position, and Pom Pom tucked deep into probably the branches of Hazel Bloom. And all you need is to get to that one tree, this oddball tree that's kind of leaning at an odd angle down the mountain. You could be there first, you just know it. And a running start, it's going to take a running start. And all 4 of you toss yourselves basically into a tree. Now, Thimbleberry, Pom Pom, and Thumper, you've never done this before.
I think Thimbleberry on Thumper's shoulders, she kind of just like crouches in, like holds on and just like closes her eyes. She's like, I don't want to see.
I think what
What
ends
happened?
up feeling like is like you're seeing a tree coming at you, and you're like, we're gonna make contact. It's gonna hit. So I don't know. Maybe keep your eyes open. You might close it, but instead, just it feels like you're going through like molasses. Kind of like here, and it's kind of suddenly like sink through.
That's such a great way to
And-
explain it. I love that.
And yeah, and then it's just complete darkness inside of it when it's happening, and then all of a sudden, and you feel like you're actually getting sticky. You feel like there's definitely sap everywhere, but the moment you come out of it, you're just completely fine. Like there's no sap, nothing.
And you're pretty sure you hear this tree, this single tree leaning on this mountain edge go plah, as it spits all of you out. And the 4 of you go kind of like, I wouldn't say rolling, but you do split apart. It's quite an endeavor to have a tree spit you up. And I wouldn't say you're near the top. You're not. You're still near the base on a little bit of like a small cliff edge where this tree kind of resides. And the 4 of you now look down, probably 50 or 60 feet to the forest edge that touches this mountain. And you see a figure emerge. A wraith. An ash wraith. Everything it touches. You see it as it like exits the forest. The trees around it crinkle and wither, like somebody squeezed the last thing out of a Capri Sun. And it begins moving up the mountain. And you see behind it, it leaves a trail of smelly ash. This is definitely the smell of sulfur. Though there are no skeletons with it.
And you said smelly ass. The smell of sulfur.
He definitely, this ash wraith, his ass is particularly putrid. It is sulfur. And
Boy,
behind...
need a bath.
Oh yeah.
You know he don't wash his
You
ass.
did this,
He don't
Dot.
spread his cheeks and clean his ass. It's bad. It's really bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail you. This is a beautiful
Dot,
scene.
Dot literally 5 minutes ago. This ending's gonna be great, y'all.
This is
I
gonna be
know,
so
right?
5 minutes
profound.
later,
It's so
let's
great.
clean his butt.
But he needs to get wiped. He needs to get flushed.
Pop Pop, I imagine this pixie is like, it's ash kicking time. You know, just like.
It's ash kicking time.
And you see it, the ash wraith, as it moves out of the forest, leaving behind a putrid smell and smoke and, a cloud of ash behind it. In its hand, you see it, a massive leaf, probably 8, 9, 10 inches across its widest piece, and it is a beautiful red and orange tone. It starts deep and goes out to the ends where it's a nice yellow like the sun. This was supposed to be the last leaf that fell. And it is in the hands of a creature like this. Now, going up the mountain is not an easy task. The terrain here is at an angle and is rather rocky and slippery. So know that there's some things to overcome if you are going to approach him. How do you continue?
I know.
Doesn't
I
work.
know.
Okay.
Oh. Hazel Bloom uses his long limbs. And kind of just kind of. So I think Hazel Bloom just like, you see him walking down the mountain, and for a while his level doesn't go down because his legs are just extending to keep up. But eventually he reaches his limit and he does start like getting lower down the mountain height wise.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna try and at the very least distract this ash wraith
From going any
enough for
higher up.
maybe enough for anyone else to either go up to be ready for when they eventually get up there, or come down and help maybe pluck the leaf out of the ash wraith's hand.
So, you all see Hazel Bloom kind of, it hadn't noticed you, the wraith, kind of step in towards it. And it's not until Hazel Bloom actually like steps off of this ledge and begins making that effort towards him along the mountainside that you see the wraith's head turn. This wraith is, or was, a kin. It's very clear. This is what's left of something that was fully and totally corrupted by the void, sent here to do its work. A mission for something much darker. It doesn't respond in the way any living creature would. Its eyes pitch black, holes into the darkness. And it turns to see you, Hazel Bloom. Do you say anything, or are you just gonna reach out and try to grab it?
Hazel Bloom's gonna raise both his hands. I mean, I guess 4 of his hands. I haven't actually used his 4 hands. He has 4 hands, guys.
He has 4 hands?
Raise all 4 of it. Yeah, I said at the beginning he had 4 arms.
You
He
did.
raises all 4 of his arms and just says,
Please, give me the leaf and turn back.
Never must
I
consume fire, it says.
I was afraid you'd say that.
and I guess he's definitely terrified because you can see the ash and the mention of fire, kind of his flowers and his beard, they turn like a really deep purple, which is fear. And he kind of takes a deep breath and just tries to snatch the
Yeah,
leaf.
the leaf. You're going to try to do this. Okay, so this is going to be body. Unless you wanted to actually properly make a charm check to see if you could get him to give it to you. It would be a much higher check, so I'll leave that to you. If you want to try to snatch it, or you can try to properly convince him.
Charm is my lowest stat, but I do think that's the type of thing he would try anyway.
Okay. I mean, we can do two
big and
rolls
powerful,
here.
but doesn't like fighting. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
so
do charm first.
let's do charm. Okay, so it's your smaller pool. That's all right. This is an incredible task to get a creature of the void to change its purpose, its task by its master.
I only have 1 dice for that, so I'll have to be lucky. Okay. Wait, so I can't remember. We could spend something to get.
You can spend spirit to add dice to
Spirit.
your pool, up to 3, I believe,
Up to
in
3.
1 turn.
You know what? Might as well. I'm gonna spend 3. I have 5 spirit. I'll spend 3
Okay.
to bump it up to 4 times.
Perfect. Okay, that's a great use of that, especially here at the end. So that now is going to make that dice pool a 4 for this this trait check as an incredible task.
No.
Oh no. Okay. We got 3 1s, a 5, and a 5. So very close. He still says the same thing. But you see him put his hand a little tighter around the leaf, and as he does, it begins to gray from the bottom. This leaf. You failed this check against this wraith. Now, this is a special creature of the darkness. It doesn't function like dumb skellies who use their own heads to break out of ice. This is a void scion, a creature of the void. Characters that fail trait checks against, you don't know his name yet, this wraith, you mark a condition. If you choose not to mark the condition, parts of your body begin to turn to shadow, making that single piece of body unusable.
Oh boy.
So, I'm actually going to leave that up to you. Do you want to mark a condition? Now, for all of you at home, a condition means until that condition is cleared, there is a -1 per, or there's a negative per condition to the dice pool. Now, this is a choice. Do you take a -1 per, for this case, until kind of we're through, or do you render a part of your body unusable?
This is my first condition, so, and I think afraid makes sense, and I don't think I lose a dice for that though.
Yeah, there's a 0 next to it.
Yeah, there's a 0 next to it
Perfect.
for afraid.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll take afraid because it makes sense. So he did mention his biggest fear, which is fire, and in
Fire.
the hands of a wraith, it most likely will be uncontrolled. So
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
you, even when he opens his mouth, you can see the deep fire inside of its gut. There's a reason it leaves ash behind it, because it consumes like flame. And you find yourself stopped. You can't even reach it. You find yourself scared, afraid. For the first time in a long time, and you hesitate. The wraith lets out a little bit of a laugh. Halleck comes for what the void wants. And it begins moving up the mountain again. What did the other three of you do? You see this happen. You see him afraid.
I would like Thumper. Thumper just kind of like plants himself pretty firmly into the rock side, right? And just opens his mouth, and you hear a sound. It's just like. And it echoes. And I am going to cast Stone Call. I believe I have to spend a spirit for that.
Okay. Stone Cold. And this is your
And
magic in use. Is that kind of how this works?
My magic, yes. It's a
Okay.
form of telekinesis.
This is so
I can-
cool.
Fall forth and move rocks as large as myself until the end of the scene. I can make them move anywhere, but they must always touch the ground or each other. So I think if the wraith is running up and I am below, that means there are some big boy rocks just starting to tumble down and moving
Beautiful.
directly towards the wraith.
There is any time before an avalanche or before a landslide, silence in the air. The crickets of the night now stop. The birds don't caw as this odd noise from your mouth echoes forward. And you see it shake the very rocks on the cusp of tipping, right? And they do. And 1 rock, 2 rock, 3 rocks begin to move. Let's see if you're successful. The goal is to what? Knock him down, to pin him?
Okay. Yeah, just knock him down.
Knock him down. Okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to say, oof. This is a lot easier than getting him to just give the leaf up. So this is a difficult task. For you to do this. It does not see this coming, I would say. Don't fail it. All you need is 1-5. And I would say this is your magical ability, so it's your heart.
Okay.
And you need
Thumper,
1-5.
I just want you to
Have a
say
heart
that your
check.
voice is very beautiful and you have a lot of warmth in there. Bountiful heart.
So that's an extra, right?
Yep. So Pom Pom
So-
spins.
Spam
yeah.
heart.
Pom Pom spins
So
a
because
spirit.
this is a heart check, I'm gonna also use my core of stone, and I am a rough boy, which means I get.
You a rowdy rough
heart
boy?
checks to overcome. Oh, never mind. It doesn't apply here.
Doesn't
JK.
apply. Okay.
Rowdy rough boy.
Doesn't apply. JK. Okay, so 5. I
Okay.
don't. I'm just gonna roll
5.
a 4d6 and a 1d6.
Perfect. Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
Congratulations. You got a 6. Mark a spirit, right? Don't forget, for all of you that have been rolling, make sure if you get a 6, you mark that spirit. Anything over. These rocks come rumbling down. Hazelbloom may in fact be terrified, but Hazelbloom has done what they intended, to create a distraction. And as this wraith turns to begin moving back up the mountain, it faces a massive boulder, along with 2 more behind it that have come running down. You hear the wraith let out a "ah!" as the first boulder pummels it. First thing, I wouldn't say it passes through, it does hit the wraith. The wraith puts its hands up like this, but to do it, it has to let go of the leaf. And as the first boulder smashes into the wraith, you see the boulder split like fire or a torch might cut through metal, and it falls to the side. It steps back, but the leaf goes flying in the air.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think both Thimbleberry and Pom Pom go a leaping for it.
Okay,
Pom
so
Pom
I
with
can
probably
actually-
more success.
Okay, I can make, we can make this kind of like a dual team effort if you want. So both of you can roll for this. Here's how I think that would go. I'm gonna have you both roll, just in case one of you misses. So tell me how you would like to do this. I would think this is probably body for the both of you, because it's a leap to catch something. Unless you're gonna use magic to do it.
I actually do have a magic ability called Flitter Quick that you can teleport to any location that you can see.
Hey!
So that does get me there quickly, but to catch the leaf still might be a roll.
Right,
But
be a roll. Okay,
Yes.
so we'll give you an advantage. So you gain a +1 die because of that. So spend what you need to spend to activate it. And Thimbleberry, anything you want to do to add to your body, or are you just going to go like bleep bleep bounding?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to bound my way over there.
actually, you know what? I will spend my final 2 spirit and take Thimbleberry with me.
Yes!
Yes.
You see Thimbleberry start to like bound, and you put a very tiny hand around just a single horn as you and her over. Let's get the body check from the both of you. I'm gonna give Thimbleberry a advantage as well, so you had a die to your body pool because both of you got there so fast.
Okay.
So body, and this is it is not in its hand. This is just a moderate task. All you need's a 4.
Okay.
Oh,
We
we
did,
both succeed.
We both got two hits.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Wait, how much shadow does Pom Pom have?
Pom Pom's now at 4.
Okay.
I'm only at 1.
Take a shadow. Pom Pom. I would say it's a team effort. By the time you dash forward, you've got maybe Pom Pom sitting on Thimbleberry, like behind the horns, as the both of you jump midair. It's a slow motion as this wraith is still fighting these boulders, smashing them apart. And we see Pom Pom reach out and grab the leaf from midair. Pom Pom. 4 shadow. That is a lot. You have taken it for all the right reasons, as so many kin do. But now, what was just a tingle in the back of your mind is now calling to you. Something dark in the back of your mind says, all you have to do is beat them to the top, and you could be the celebrated pixie you always wanted to be. You drop the leaf. You bring the phoenix. You be the hero.
I don't want to be afraid of being the center of attention anymore.
Now you have your chance. Your subconscious tells you, as the void is getting closer. It only needs one person to drop that leaf. It doesn't have to be the wraith. The wraith cries out as your hands wrap around the leaf. Thimbleberry, do you begin bounding up the mountain?
Yes.
Okay. Thimbleberry, like a mountain goat, except Thimbleberry. Oh, who's afraid of heights? Somebody afraid of heights.
I am.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh no.
Oh, Thimbleberry.
She's not like she's a fawn, but it's her hooves. It's more on like farmland kind of goat, not like mountain goat. So her hooves aren't as good on the mountain.
Pom Pom on your horn with the leaf, kind of also battling her own whatever in her brain, starts to talk calmingly to Thimbleberry. You kicked skeleton heads off with beautiful ice skating wings. You are an agile, beautiful, wonderful fawn.
Yeah, a majestic fawn.
A
We can
majestic
do
fawn.
this.
You're lighter than the wind. I'm actually casting Fear Be Gone.
Great!
Tell a calming story to remove the effects of a character's fear until the end of the scene.
Okay, and this is another trait, so spend another point.
I don't think I have
have
to.
any
It's because
I don't
It
think you
doesn't
do
say-
unless it says you spend
Says
spirit to do it.
to do it.
Yeah.
If you,
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, it means you have
like
to roll
there are ones that say
for
like
it.
spend 2 spirit or spend a spirit. This one is just like
Do the
You
thing.
do it.
just talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just talk. You're gonna talk it out. You're gonna talk it
Yeah.
out. Okay.
Yeah, we're literally just talking it out.
Just talk it out. You're petting Thimbleberry's head. You're just talking it out.
Yeah.
And Thimbleberry, you're gonna bound up. So because you have your friend here, usually when you're at high up in the air, it's just you all by yourself. You don't usually have a calming presence with you. This time you do. And so Thimbleberry, you go bounding up the mountain with no disadvantage for your fear, which means you get your basic body dice pool with nothing taken away. Yeah. Chat says,
All right.
we believe you can fly, Thimbleberry. We believe you can touch the sky.
I believe.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I got a 1 and a 4.
Okay. I would say it's a moderate task to go up this thing. So you succeed at bounding up it. But the wraith knows who has that leaf. And it begins now following. And the camera cuts back to Hazelbloom and Thumper. You see Thimbleberry and Pom Pom begin the descent up the mountain. But the wraith, though now I would say hindered by these massive boulders that have affected it. It's oozing blackness, Thumper. You did actually, I'd say, harm it. It's like bleeding, but it's oozing ichor. The same ichor that was yeeted earlier.
That's the term we woodkin use. Is yeeted.
Yeah,
Is that where it
yeeted.
originated from?
Yes. The proper yokel term is to yote it. It has been yoted.
Exactly. It's been
Yeah.
yoted.
It's been yoted. The more you know. Let's see what Hazelbloom and Thumper would like to do as the wraith begins following the ladies up the hill.
I mean, do you have any idea? I have an idea, but
Go for it.
Well, one, it
I've got
kind of depends. What?
rocks. Just more of them.
What is? I'm using the same move as well. What kind? So you said it looks like it used to be kin. Does it have any resemblance? Like, what was it? Stone kin, wood kin,
Oh,
pixie? Like,
good
what?
question.
What does it look like?
I didn't even think about that. I'll tell you. Let's find out. I would say this guy is... Oh, I don't know. He's definitely not a stone, or he wasn't a stone kin. And when I say he was a kin, you can tell because he's upright, kind of four limbs, but he's corrupted to the core. So he's kind of malformed in a way. So I would say it's kind of difficult to tell, but you think... Oh, what are they called? I can't remember. Craig wrote so many amazing things. I'm going to botch it. It's the creatures that are water-based.
Nymphs? Not nymphs.
Not nymphs. This is a special kin for this setting, and I'm going to look it up.
Oh.
Because I want to know what it is. This is of import to me. Characters. Okay, I'm going to pull this up. Sorry, I remembered most things, Craig. I almost
It's
got
new.
it. It's new. I'm
It's
working
new.
on it. I'm working on it. Yes. Okay. So the creatures that we have here at our disposal. Yep. Give me my list. Yeah, here we go. Okay. It is called a... Nope. There's like a... Fawns, humans... Okay. We'll say this is... Probably, in this case, this is gonna be an imp.
Ooh,
This is one of the
okay.
imps. It's not huge, so that's how you know it's not a human, though it does have four limbs like a human might. But the way it kind of carries itself, slunched over in one way. And you realize it because of its grin. When it opened its mouth and spoke to you, that cheeky grin. Imps live on the fringes of society, and if the void managed to sneak in, it probably fell prey without anybody there to help save it.
Okay, and where exactly is the imp? Is the I'm calling him imp? Is the ash wraith? Where
Yeah.
is the ash wraith? Like up the mountain and like lower down? Or is
Yeah,
it-
I would say it's headed up the mountain, so you would be just behind it if you wanted to trail it or
Okay.
chase it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he just mutters.
I am very sorry. You seem to have had much joy when you were yourself. I could see it in what was left of your smile.
And he's gonna just again use long limbs, grab the imp, and try and yeet him.
You're gonna try to
him
yeet him off the
back.
mountain? Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, it's okay, Imp. We understand that you were probably, not treated kindly. Yoit. Okay. So this is another body. You're gonna body roll. You're gonna body roll this. It is running up the mountain, so I'm gonna say this is a moderate task for you because it's not focused on you. It's not trying to dodge your grasp.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I have anything that can help me because I have not had the greatest luck recently.
Remember, you can always spend your spirit to add a die to a pool on
yeah,
any
that's
trait
true.
roll.
I used 3 last time. I have 2 left.
Can you spend a spirit to give advantage to someone?
I believe so. Or you can
Okay.
basically help them in some way. So you can use a spirit to activate something of yours to give an advantage die to them.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything that would work. I was hoping I could
Um,
just hand you, have my spirit.
I'll use my last 2 spirit and bump up my dice pool to 5 dice.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yes.
Get yoted.
He
I'm gonna
done
yote
yeeted.
this.
Yote.
I'm gonna yeet this imp, and then
Yeet.
the imp is gonna be yoted.
Yoted.
after this.
Yes. Use the correct terminology here, y'all. Okay.
Sorry, I'm old.
As I used y'all. Here we go. So we've got 5 for your body. Wow. Okay.
Whoa,
So
that is not good, guys.
Oh,
by
no.
not good, he means
Ooh.
he made the roll. There's a 4.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a 2, 3, and 2 5s, which means there's a boon that happens. You turn 2 of those into shadow. Does that make it
5 shadows
5?
now. Yeah.
Y'all,
5?
it's time to
Yeah.
give you a condition.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It is time to give you a condition. I think that's how that works. I'm going to double check my notes, but I'm pretty sure when you reach that point, because we said for the sake of this game, our boxes were all 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you a corruption trait.
Yep, trait.
doesn't
It gives you a corruption trait. So
Yeah.
check one. Do you
corruption
have
trait.
another corruption trait marked on your character sheet
No,
yet, or is this will be the first one?
Is corruptions like the abilities, right? Like the corruption abilities you get.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So when you become corrupt, it's like you get something cool from the darkness. It's an ability from the
Okay.
darkness. And so the way it would work in a long-term game, when you fill all 3 corruptions, meaning you filled your shadow bar 5 or 3 times, and you check all 3 corruption boxes, you become lost to the void. This is probably exactly what happened to the imp that you currently chase.
Okay.
So which corruption do you take? Tell us.
Oh, I'm gonna take foul rot.
Oh.
So the ability is mark 2 permanent shadow, cause 1 creature's body to begin withering away, and then die 1 minute later.
So this doesn't necessarily mean you have to use
Yeah, I don't have to use
No,
it.
skill
but I
right
now
away.
have
It's
that
just
ability.
that you
Yeah.
now can do that. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, corruption is bad sap. So you have the ability. You feel it in you, Hazel, when something changes. Clear your shadow bar. You don't have any checkboxes now. But you have a new ability. Hazel Bloom, maybe it's your old age getting the better of you, but you feel like you could turn something into a rotten stump in a heartbeat. That darkness seeds itself inside of you permanently. Well, except for you took 2 permanent shadow for doing this, but you feel it seated there now. Corruption, rot that you can give to somebody else. But you succeed. Somewhere the void is pleased by this. You may, in fact, now have grabbed the wraith by the back of the neck, trying to comfort this imp as a distraction, as you take him and throw him. With this many successes, it's like a frisbee off the top of a mountain into a forest. He goes flying, smashing through the tree canopy and landing. And something happens. It's almost dead quiet, that same calm before an avalanche or storm. And this imp cries out. The last of the birds that were in this forest leave. And he erupts into a flame. It burns a solid hole straight through the canopy of these trees, already dead leaves. They burn that fast. He is still alive, but he is fuming, angry, and very, very far behind you. Thimbleberry, Pom Pom. Actually, Thumper, what do? You see all this happen. The ladies, they don't see this happen. What is Thumper doing?
Hazelbloom, what did you do? I did what I had to. But in doing so, you have hurt the forest. Your own kin. I know. I think you should stay here. We will take care of the leaf. I'm
Hazelbloom
sorry.
just nods and just sits down
Oh.
on the side of the mountain where he's at.
God. Oh my
Hazelbloom sits down on the side of the mountain, now looking just like any other tree that grows out the side of it. Defeated in some way. All the right actions, for all the right reasons, still can have bad consequences when the void is seeping into the world of reverie. Thumper, do you head up after Pom Pom and Thimbleberry?
Thumper collects the rock, the boulder that was split into two, right? And just like scoops it up like it's nothing. And like the other two are rolling with him, just like a sad little trail. Yeah, as they're rolling up the hill
And-
slowly. 'Cause
Yeah, it's a slow trek for you, but every step deep into the dirt and they roll behind you. And the camera cuts up the mountain. You can see it. Thimbleberry is kind of hopping, having to at this point, from kind of ledge to ledge, small section to small section. She Zelda shimmies down one side with Pom Pom kind of riding the antlers of Thimbleberry's adorable head. Thimbleberry, you're not there yet. And you still have a fear of heights. And every little tiny fawn hop you take puts you higher and higher to the top of this mountain. Thimbleberry. I need you to make another body roll. One more, and you might just make it to the top.
Okay.
Okay.
Is she still being aided by Pom Pom?
Oh yeah, I think Pom Pom has definitely not stopped talking.
Yeah.
And I think her words are definitely like, you've got this, like there are many fawns out there, but only you are taking on this journey to save the forest and bring out the phoenix. Have you seen the phoenix before? I bet that would look really pretty. And then everyone will say, look, it's Thimbleberry who brought the phoenix back.
Look, it's Thimbleberry who brought the phoenix back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect words. It's Thimbleberry who brought the phoenix back. To the audience, there's a vicar that oozes off that statement. We know that Pom Pom wants to be that person, but she has to get Thimbleberry there. Thimbleberry rolled a 6, 4, and a 1. The 6, of course, is exactly what you needed. Thimbleberry, your friend is right. You are almost there.
Yeah. I was after this Matilda Dad. I'm basically a mountain goat now.
Yeah!
Yeah.
And we see Thimbleberry get really excited. Mountain goat, I could be a mountain goat. And there's this hopping that begins to take place, pinging up and down. And sure enough, Thumper, as you roll up behind them, you see Thimbleberry reach the very top and kind of disappear over the lip of this mountain, as you are fast on their heels. Thumper, do you want to do anything extra? Or just join them? I was about to say, this fight ain't over yet, but...
He doesn't have anything to to do.
Okay, that's perfect. You're just like, I gotta get up there, right? And so we still hear
Slow and steady.
yeah, Thimbleberry and Pom-Pom crest the top. We hear Thumper slow and steady as the rocks make their way up. But Thimbleberry and Pom-Pom, as you get up higher, it's not only dark, it's hot and smoky. And both your lungs are tiny. And when you crest the ridge, you see something you did not expect. This was supposed to be a mountain. This is no mountain. I mean, it is, technically. It is a volcano. Maybe something that you have never experienced or known before. This mountain is full of hot, raging, liquid fire. It
Oh
bubbles.
no, Pom-Pom, the mountain's on fire.
Bloop, bloop, it bubbles.
That's super. That's really bad. But where else do you think a phoenix probably comes from?
I don't know. I honestly, a nest.
Oh,
Well, it's a bird.
is this the wrong place?
No, this is where the ash wraith was going.
Did we take a wrong turn?
It was that badger's fault.
You? That's the badger's fault.
It's the badger's fault. And you stare down into the precipice of Mother Nature, of something vast and bigger than all of you that has loomed in reverie for you don't know how long. The mountain's tummy seems to be upset. It gurgles and bubbles. And Thumper joins you very soon after. You hear these kind of rocks roll up behind you, and Thumper's... Now, Thumper, you see this.
It's a long trek.
You can
You
feel...
made it.
You feel
Are
the
you sweating pebbles?
Actual little beads, right?
Yeah. Paying off. They're falling. Actually, Thumper, as the rock sweat pours off your body, it falls into this open lava. And as it hits the top of the lava many feet down below you, it consumes the rock. You've never seen anything consume rock. And it turns it to liquid. Gone. It's a terrifying sight. And the camera cuts down the mountain to a lonely tree. Hazelbloom, if you look behind you, you see your friends disappear over the precipice of this mountain. You stare down, sitting by yourself, at a blazing fire. It's moving out of the forest. You can tell because it burns everything in its path. You have seen this ceremony before, Hazelbloom. You know that the phoenix is going to burn this forest up anyways. Your friends can't possibly understand that. They've never witnessed it before. But a phoenix does two things. It burns up, dies, and comes back. Just like this forest is going to. So you're not worried about the spreading of a little fire. You're worried about what emerges. The imp himself is probably no more. His body consumed. This ash wraith is nothing but fire and brimstone. A literal kind of ball of ethereal flame exits the forest, and it begins heading up the mountain towards you. What would you like to do?
Hazelbloom, he doesn't stand up, he stays seated. And as allows the ash wraith to get closer and closer. And I think this might have been me mishearing it, but I think I remember you saying the ash wraith saying a name.
He did. He did say a name. His name, and I want to make sure I give you the right one because I can't remember the name of my hand. I have notes. His name is Halleck. Halleck.
So I think once he's within earshot, Hazel Bloom looking. I think this is the most old and tired he's looked, as old as tired as a tree can look anyway.
Yeah.
And he just looks up at the ash wraith and says,
Halleck, if you're still here, just know, we know, it wasn't your fault.
Roll a charm.
And
Oh. Yeah, you're gonna do
and
something?
I'm going to reach out and like grab the flaming body and use foul rot and cause the creature to wither and die.
And die.
And I'm going to take 2 permanent shadow for that.
Okay.
Oh
Take
my
2 permanent shadow. Wow. This game, y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
The flame does not stop. It actually looks like it would have passed right through you, headed up the mountain. It doesn't seem to have the same presence or awareness as the last thing did before you kind of threw it into the forest. What it has emerged as is something different.
Yeah.
But you face your own fear of fire. Reach into the flame and grab this thing by the throat, I guess you could say, what's left of the figure. Well, now. So, this is going to be interesting. So, this just happens, right? Like, once you take the corruption, I think once you take it, it just happens.
Yeah. So what kind of looks like his flowers in his beard. Most of the time, they're fairly vibrant colors. No matter what emotion is, even if it's like anger, it's a very vibrant red. But his flowers turn a dark gray and wilt, and the moss that's been grown in his body kind of starts moving up his arm onto the hand that is grabbing the ash wraith, and then slowly starts to wrap around the ash wraith and maybe starts to extinguish bits of it.
Yeah. Okay, I
Slowly.
love this. Yeah, you see the moss leave your body, a sacrifice. Moss is needed for trees. It keeps it safe for various reasons. You know this, but you've given something here. Both your beautiful flowers and the moss that keeps you safe. And it ejects from your body and it wraps itself like a mask around the kind of head area of what's left of this creature, and it begins to expand. And as it does, it cuts off the oxygen flow, which, as we know, will very quickly extinguish a fire. You think, Hazel Bloom, on the wind, even in the screams of the extinguishing fire, you hear Halleck say thank you. Thank you. And you watch as both a kin of reverie and a diabolical creature brought on by the void rots, withers, and extinguishes itself in front of you. Once it is done screaming, all that's left is a pile of burnt moss. It still kind of embers from the side and smokes at your feet. The camera cuts back up to the top of the mountain. In the night, you hear a daft scream. But the fire that was in the forest seems to be extinguished. You think the phoenix might be safe.
Okay. So do we just put the leaf in?
Brought us all the way up here. I can fly the leaf into the fire. And that way you can stay pretty for when they cheer your name.
Oh, okay. Okay. You drop the leaf in, and then I guess we go back down the mountain. We sprint down the mountain?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Pom Pom, you're going to fly the leaf in. Is that the plan?
Yes.
Thumper, do you try to stop them? Or her? Nope. Great.
Thumper, yeah, he has no idea what's supposed to happen.
From what you know, this leaf is supposed to go in this mountain. Like, this is the sacrifice. And we see Pom Pom dive down. Pom Pom, this is your chance to be the hero. And as you fly over the lava, do you just release the leaf to the top?
I take a minute as I'm flying down, and I actually try to reach out to the void on my end.
The void is always listening and watching. It wants you to reach out.
You'll make me pretty. You'll make me the star of the show. Will you make me confident?
I'll give you everything.
You took away a pixie's wings.
No.
You can have mine instead. And Pom Pom stops flying.
The two of you watch as Pom Pom dives down, and you think this is just a drop the leaf type thing. But instead, you watch Pom Pom maybe turn around and look at all of you. Her eyes are now black, of nothingness. She hugs this leaf like it is her life vest, the only thing that's going to keep her afloat. And you watch as the hot flames burn up her wings from the edges like a light piece of cigarette paper. And her body drops into the lava. The leaf and Pom Pom are consumed before you. An eerie silence falls over the land. A sacrifice. And then a rumble. You feel it first, Thumper, from inside the earth. This mountain. It is awake. What sleeps inside is no longer sleeping, and soon will burst free of its home.
Mulberry, we should go.
Oh, okay.
Come, and I'll pick you up.
Okay. And she lets you put her back on your shoulder.
And you begin down the mountain. Quickly, as quick as you can, Thumper, using probably your rocks to help you move. The mountain begins to erupt. Fire burst into the air. Did you do it wrong? This is supposed to be a celebration. Now, hot, liquid fire tips over the edges. Thumper, Thimbleberry, and Hazelbloom, you make it to each other just in time. Find almost a nook in the side of this mountain to shield yourself from, out of it. And a giant phoenix erupts, bigger than Thumper and Hazelbloom, 25 feet in a wingspan, from the center of this mountain. Following it, it cast hot liquid lava behind its massive fire tail, and the three of you witness it as it slides down the mountain. Hot lava passes on all sides of you as it begins to pour down, and the phoenix begins to pass over the forest. Instead of going straight down the middle, it makes a loop, a circle, and as it does, it burns everything in its sight, slowly setting fire, and it works its way towards the center. And by the time it reaches it, you can see the first tree, the embrace, there in the middle. It is the last thing to be consumed. The phoenix continues to circle the sky for 20-30 minutes as the three of you sit there watching this forest burn. After a while, the lava begins to harden. Thumper, you can hear it cracking as it cools a little bit. It has recovered the floor of this forest in a beautiful black sheen. And eventually the phoenix comes to a stop and perches itself on a burning tree, a big one, in the middle of the forest. You see what you were looking for, Thimbleberry, a nest. And it sits down for a while and watches its art finish. And when it is done, you see that the phoenix is not as bright as it once was, as full of flame as it once was. And it uses the last of its energy to fly up the mountain and back into the volcano. No more fire, only smoke. But the forest lay in a black, ashy ruin. Hazelbloom, you're pretty sure this is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Because as the phoenix begins to fall back into its lava home, resting until the next century has passed, you see that the tree in the middle begins to bloom. Nobody else will be able to see it. It's a very slow process. But everywhere across the forest, the trees begin to start the cycle over again. And as the phoenix passes overhead, it drops something. 1, 2, 3, and a fourth one. 4 leaves fall from the sky. Beautiful and orange, one for each of you, from the great elder tree. And as the fourth one falls and lands, there inside of it is a pixie. Pom-Pom, sleeping soundly. Her wings are gone. She made that sacrifice. But she is napping. And the 4 of you see off in the distance, on the other side of a smoking forest, the festival has started. A badger owes you all drinks, and I'm sure that there's a bullfrog that would love to speak with you. But you have a long trek back through this forest. So instead tonight, the 4 of you sit on the side of a mountain, and you get to revel in the joy that you have brought to this land. 4 new friends, each from different sides of reverie, come together to assure that the cycle and the people of this land stay safe. And Pom-Pom, you are in fact celebrated. The void delivered. Something that you may consider in the future. My friends, we come to the end of our tiny adventure, which seemed a lot bigger than I expected. Congratulations. This was a very cool game.
Yes.
I am
Yes.
so impressed. Let's go around because we are in the last 3 minutes of our show. And let's introduce ourselves and tell people where they can find you when you're not here gaming on this channel for North by Northwest and the Dotlight. And we'll go, let's do it a random order. Tiffany, you're up first. Tell us who you are.
Okay, hello, I'm Tiffany. I was Thimbleberry for this adventure, the most fun-loving fawn, and I am a producer, player, GM, and shenanigans maker for North by Northwest, which is one part of this stream here. We tell fabulous stories using tabletop adventure games, so please join us. If you loved this stream, keep an eye on the podcast feed because it's going to be coming back to you in a slightly different format with some extra things thrown in and editing that you won't have gotten here.
Yep.
So
Yep,
that's
yep.
me.
Very cool. Nikki.
Hi. Excuse me. I'm covered in tears.
I
Where
know,
did
me
those
too. I'm
come
like,
from?
don't cry yet, Dot. Don't make yourself cry. That's embarrassing.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Nikki. I was your pom-pom tonight. You can find me at the Wigged DM on Twitter. I am also doing a variety of things on Final Show Films, Craftic Studios, Slady's ATL. If you want to find out any of that information, follow me on Twitter. I'm always posting and tweeting about all of that. By the way, Black Lives Matter, everybody. Trans Lives Matter.
Yes, they do.
Wash your hands. Wear your masks.
Vote.
Vote. Vote. Damn it.
Yes.
True.
Vote.
Yes, please vote.
That's it.
And
That's all I got.
perfect. Drac, you said vote next. You're up.
Okay. Hi, I'm Draconics or Drac. You can find me on. Oh, today I was playing,
Hazel Blue.
and you can find me on Twitter at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES. I'm in a whole bunch of stuff. I'm a co-founder of Friends Roll Dice, which is a TTRPG channel on Twitch. And this October, for the whole month, we're doing a charity event where we're raising money. We're playing a bunch of one-shots and raising money for two very important causes. A little bit, very unrelated, very random sounding, but they're very important. The RAIN Network, which is Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network, and the Earth Day Network. We kind of threw that one in after the wildfires because we're like, okay, now that everyone's actually talking about climate
How
change.
apropos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Natural cycles make sense. Us
Yeah.
burning our world does not.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can find me there. I'm usually behind the scenes on like the events organized right now. I'm also on a mini campaign of Tales from the Loop called It Came from the Loop over on Rule of Law's channel. That's starting on this Wednesday. What else? I'm also in an actual play podcast where we play, it's a Mars podcast called Super Idols RPG, where I play a magical idol boy, which is a lot of fun. So I think the next episode of that should be coming out, like, I think the first Monday of October, next episode. I think we're on episode 6. So you have some stuff to go back to and listen to.
That's awesome.
I think that's it right now. There's probably more that I'm forgetting. So just follow me on Twitter. I'll probably tweet about it.
Yep. And for all you podcast folk, remember this will be coming out a little later, so just go check out these Twitters so that you can get caught up on whatever they're doing when you get to hear this.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, no, made you last again. I'm sorry.
I don't care. Hi, I'm No. I played Thumper, and wow, this was awesome.
This was
Y'all
very
were
cool.
so freaking good. What a story to tell. You can find me doing this sort of stuff all the time on Twitch, Twitter, or Instagram at NoMedic. I do streaming and podcasts of TTRPGs. I don't got really anything to plug at this point in time, though. So.
Oh, please. I'm going to plug for Gnome. I'm up next. I'm Dot. Gnome does incredible audio editing for the podcast that I'm a part of, as well as North by Northwest, but also Stitch of Fate. You should check that out. And Gnome is also...
That's really good.
Y'all, we just had another void bar filled. Thank you so much. Has few words. Thank you for a beautiful story you weaved together. What a knockout cast. Thank you for that donation. That is amazing. And means a lot to make this possible. And Gnome is also part of the cast of Coriolis for a different campaign we run called Void. That's about space, not fantasy at all, over on Unmade Gaming's channel. And we'll be back next month with a one-shot with his character as we lead into our third and hopefully final season of Coriolis. We'll see if that's the case. That starts up in January. And if you enjoyed tonight, come back next month, the third Monday of the month. We'll be back, and I'm proud, I can actually say it. Next up, we'll be playing Thirsty Sword Lesbians, y'all. Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
I know, I'm so excited.
Thirsty Sword
That's a good
Lesbians
one.
is the next game. It is put out by Evil Hat Productions. We'll be having the game designer play with us April. It'll be an all femme-identifying cast. So come back, check that out. It's going to be awesome. You don't know me, Eris. I did not say that. No, but thank you all so very much for being here. Thank you for sharing in this opportunity. Thank you for supporting us. Tonight's game, as well as the rest of the campaigns under the Novella series, is made possible by the Fulton County Arts and Culture, who have sponsored this channel thanks to a very kind grant to assure that in this time of COVID, we are getting stories that we need, like this one. We need stories and we need camaraderie. We need to laugh. We need to cry. And more important, we need little stories with big heart. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for supporting this. And make sure to check out the final of this as it comes out for North by Northwest as part of our side quest series. We're going to go record an after show, which if you would like to hear, you can gain access to on the podcast.
North by Northwest Patreon.
Yep, Patreon. So there it is. I'm going to leave you with the Good Strong Hands trailer one more time. Please go support Craig. Tomorrow morning, you can get your hands on this game. You can get your hands on this module that I ran. This was a module that I ran straight from the content. All these characters came from the book. I say the book came from builds out of this book. So if you really like this and want to run it at your table, you'll be able to get your hands on it. So go check that out. We'll leave you with the Good Strong Hands trailer. Thank you all so very much for being here with us tonight. We're going to go record an after show, and until next time, please be excellent to one another. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Night.
Bye.
The world of Reverie is in need of heroes. A faceless, malevolent entity known only as the Void threatens to destroy your world. Will you heed the call? Good Strong Hands is a darkly whimsical, rules-light role-playing game about saving your fantastical world. You play one of a variety of fantasy beings or a human ally drawn from Earth, working to stop the destruction of your beloved home. Characters are summarized in 2-page playbooks, and the GM can draw upon streamlined 2-page story schemes to guide you in adventure. With these tools, the players and GM work together to build your personal world of reverie as you tell stories of friendship, teamwork, self-empowerment, overcoming harmful forces, and dealing with a world in crisis. However, as your character proves themselves a hero, the Void notices and tempts you with fell powers called corruptions. Will you stay true, or will you walk a line just this side of destruction yourself? Reverie needs your good, strong hands.